Okay, I've been looking for a video like this. Demon Slayer power levels make no sense until they do. Show me. How does it make sense? His name is mahistv. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But this is a video I've been looking for because ever since I watched the training arc season, that's been one of my top questions on my mind about Demon Slayer. I literally made 2 videos stating, like, one of my videos was called The Hashiras Only Care About Training Tanjiro, because it seemed like during the training arc he was like the only one worth training. Like no one else really stepped up to the plate. Of course Inosuke and Zenitsu did their thing, but you know, there wasn't really much characters doing much of anything. And I literally put in another video that, like, I think I put in a thumbnail that Tanjiro's the only one that could challenge the Hashiras. And Demon Slayer didn't even hide that fact too. Like, Tanjiro really dominated the spotlight in the whole training arc. High key, he was speedrunning through the Hashiras, like through their training, and like conquering their training in like one day. I think the most he ever spent in a place was like 3 or 4 days with a Hashira, while like the others were like spending like a whole week, 2 weeks, you know, and still haven't made any progress. So I gotta see, why did everything I seen in the training arc make sense? Let's find out.
Kagaya says that this is the finest team of Hashiras ever assembled, while Sanemi says that the modern Slayers are weakest by far. Interesting. I wonder if those two are a cause and effect situation. In order to become a pillar, one needs to kill 50 regular demons or 1 Kizuki. We all know that the lower moons were dropping like flies, much to the demon daddy's displeasure, but it couldn't have been that often, so there has to be at least 3 or 4 Hashiras who got their rank by grinding, killing off demons at a much higher rate than normal. On top of that, they don't stop and likely further increase the average hunting results on account of them getting stronger and more experienced, which leaves even fewer demons for an average slayer to encounter. No shit, the quality of the generic swordsman is going down, because Hashiras are basically stealing all the XP points from their fellow slayers.
Wow, what an explanation. Interesting. So it's like a fight or flight response, you know? Hashiras instinctively have a fight response. They instantly go into wherever the battlefield is to, like he said, grinding XP, you know, trying to eliminate as much demons as they can as fast as possible. And one thing I've noticed with like the regular demon slayers, they don't really have much of a killer instinct like the Hashiras. That's really the main difference. Hashiras don't really think twice to jump into action, while with the others, they tend to hesitate a bit, think about it, you know, decide whether or not where to go, what sort of action they need to take. And that moment of hesitation is really what's causing like a major gap in terms of power level, skill level, experience, you know, all of it. And sure, it makes sense as well, because you know, you could potentially die. Like, you don't know, a lot of times they don't know like the level demon they're facing and how strong a demon is, unless they see, you know, the number in their eyes and they know it's an upper or lower moon. And because you have to face a demon to truly determine how strong you are, it's like, do you want to take that chance to figure out if you're strong enough to defeat a demon on your own? So that's what caused the hesitation. And another point is probably belief too. Like Hashira, since they've done it multiple times, their belief in defeating a demon grows exponentially as they defeat more demons. So it's like a snowball effect. They have the momentum, they have the experience, they know what to do and what not to do, because not only because of their training, but their experience in the actual battlefield and putting their training into use. And of course, the more experience you have, the more confident you are, the more belief you have in your abilities as you actually show yourself in reality that you can defeat a demon by yourself. So I get his scenario of like grinding XP. The Hashiras are building momentum over time that is like growing exponentially, while the regular demon slayers, they're just training, but they're so hesitant to really face a demon on their own that they haven't really been able to build their own progress in terms of showing themselves that they can defeat a demon by themselves and growing that belief, that confidence on their own. That's kind of what my thinking is after hearing this.
They close their eyes mid-combat, have 0 reflexes, as well as no fall and recovery game. How are they supposed to kill a bloodthirsty demon is beyond me. Like, come on bro, you really gotta be scared shitless of a Hashira, but be totally cool with a monster who likely still has human remains all over their body? Of course not. You'd be shaking in your boots, unable to save yourself, let alone somebody else. Now that I said that, I think back to the schmuck from Mount Nadagumo and can't help but admit at least he had confidence. Yeah, he behaved like a dick, wanted to steal all the glory, but you can't deny that thinking I'd win yields better results in battle than shivering your timbers.
It's that belief factor. It's the confidence. That's really the main separating factor. Development of the killer instinct. Knowing if you have the ability or not. Or I should say believing. That's the separating factor.
The whole premise of the arc was to unlock the mark by raising blood pressure, oxygen and all that, which is exactly what breathing is supposed to do. Why are you not teaching it? What, you all collectively ran out of brain juice by the time you had this event conceived? Fucking hell, of course these guys are useless, because not only are they deprived of practice by the top dogs stealing all the kills, but they also have no awareness, let alone understanding of arguably the most important tool in the Slayer's arsenal, breathing. Now, just like I said earlier,
that is crazy. I never thought of that. Like, I never seen anyone else really using breathing techniques, total concentration. Damn, that means Tanjiro, he's been spoiled. He's been getting amazing treatment. Because it's either, I don't understand actually. Why don't they know, like, by default? And what I mean by default as in, like, as a requirement to become a Slayer. How comes they don't know about, like, total concentration and everything? I'm trying to remember when Tanjiro first learned and mastered it. What allowed him to learn it and not the other Slayers? I'm trying to remember. Maybe you guys can answer that in the comment section, but that really should be bare minimum basics to where every Slayer should be learning that, to at least have the endurance and the stamina, you know? Like, they're already fearful enough. Like, being able to control your breath could probably also calm them down and think more rationally in the situation and improve their instincts and awareness, of course. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what helped Tanjiro learn the breathing techniques and gave him access to learn that the others weren't able to get access to learn it. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was shown in season 1, but you let me know.
Sabito killed more people than he saved. I know it's a crazy idea, but hear me out. If we apply a similar logic, he basically prevented natural selection from doing its job, resulting in a lot of underqualified people becoming Slayers. And what happens when your carry feeds an enemy one? Nothing good. These unprepared warriors would have been sent to kill demons and save people, only to fail, prolonging the bloody rampage and even making its source stronger.
Okay, there is a point. In the final selection, there are a lot of unqualified Slayers that just, you know, happen by luck, pass through and succeed and survive, I should say, survive the battle just because it was one exceptional Slayer that, like, took care of most of the demons. So that could also be part of the explanation. I think that was the explanation for, what's his name? I think his name is Gayu, the water Hashira that saved Tanjiro back in season 1. I think that's how he was able to pass his final selection, of course. And I always wonder how he was able to get so strong afterwards, because he still views himself as not the same as the other Hashiras, and like, oh, he doesn't deserve to be Hashira. But you remember how I was talking about earlier about like the whole belief and everything and leveling up, and like your confidence grows as you face more demons. It's still a mystery. I'm still curious to know about his growth, his development after the final selection, and how he was able to get to Hashira level and what motivated him, especially when they showcase his mindset of him still not believing that he deserves what he deserves. So that's an interesting thing to see. I think that will give a better explanation of the power levels in the systems and everything, especially if we've seen his growth and development.
More Slayers means less demons killed per Slayer, which results in a decrease in skill, giving rise to deaths in both core members and civilians, leading to a break of lore.
Okay. The logic of the power system. Total Slayers go up, demons killed per Slayer goes down, average skill goes down, deaths go up because of the average skill level is trash. Okay, and then they have to boost more final selections to get more Slayers into the corp. But since they don't have much experience, they don't get as much time to the kill. I wonder what your thoughts on about this chart. Is this the most accurate way to represent the Demon Slayer power system? You let me know.
They have a ranking system, which implies that all Slayers aren't equal and should be assigned missions based on what they currently can handle, meaning that the higher level Slayers would be expected to get more demons killed, while the lower ones have more time to better themselves. Cause there's no way a dude straight out of a selection would go on to fight 4 demons in a month Tanjiro style.
Okay, I forgot there was a whole ranking system. So how does it make sense that like majority of the Demon Slayers don't even get a chance to defeat a demon if there's a demon rank ranking system. Maybe it's because the only thing I can think of is because like most of the time when you're the lower level you are, most times you are going in with these missions with a group of people. So it's like, yes, you have more safety and higher chance of succeeding in the mission, but you might have a less chance to fight the demon because you might be the one that doesn't find them demon, or since you're also with low ranking demon slayer corps members, their lack of experience as well kind of makes the teamwork unorganized, and once one of them is killed, like everyone panics and it gets everybody killed. So I'm assuming that's one of the main reasons. Now that I think about it, it's probably because when they go into these missions in groups, even if it's a low ranking mission, since their lack of experience, they don't really know how to successfully run a mission and succeed. So like once one of them is killed, like everybody kind of panics and start reacting. Because if you think about it, with Tanjiro, most of his missions is with Hashira's, you know, so he had at least some guidance with him. I'm trying to think back in season 1 and how most of his missions work. Well, at least in season 1 too, he had like a competent group, you know, with Inosuke and Zenitsu. They were at least competent, so I'm assuming that's also the difference as well. Okay, I got a lot more out of that video than I expected, honestly. You know, one thing I love about these reactions and listening to people's opinions and breakdowns and analysis, it really helps me think about my own theories and possibilities of what potentially makes sense in the logistics. And that's really the goal of these reactions, really, is just to bring some new thoughts, some new opinions into the picture that of course is relevant to the topic. But yeah, great video. I could tell you put a lot of work into this. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts on the power scaling, the power systems and everything, why most demon slayers are trash, and why only the top 1% are able to kill demons. What is your theories? I want to know your thoughts. What you believe is true, what doesn't make sense, what makes sense. Do you think anything I presented makes sense? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have a discussion. Thanks again for mahistv, I think that's how you say his name, mahistv. Thanks for the video. Amazing video. I'm gonna put a link in the description of your channel plus the video as well. Of course, make sure to check out the original video, because obviously I didn't put in most of the video. I just put in whatever is relevant to what I was talking about. But of course, if you want a full understanding of his thoughts and opinions, check out the original video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.